Oh no. So sorry. And like I got like 3 different ales in my hands, and I'm like trying to like, hey, I'll just put this here, and then
I take mine. I hand mine out of her grasp and bring her.
that is very awkward, and I almost spill the other ones. But I don't. Maybe. Do I? What would that be?
You can make a dexterity save if you want to not drop the other 2 beers. Hey, 16.
I get a 16. I don't drop the other beers. Most important dex save of all time.
Okay, so you like kind of stumble them up to the counter or up to the table and put them down, and people take them. The woman in the cape, by the time you go over there, you turn around and your dog is up on its hind legs, like standing, and she's holding her hand up. And she does this, like makes a little turning around gesture, and the dog like turns around.
He's such a good boy.
And she leans in and she like whispers something. And there's a moment where like you can tell that this person just said something that the dog like actually understood, not just like the tone. And then this very chubby-faced, quite soused halfling looks up at you, and she says,
"I hope he wasn't bothering you."
Yeah, no, I like the boy. She like gives him a like rub on the head, and she says,
"Can you speak with animals? I saw an exchange."
She nods. I can, time to time.
What did you tell him?
Well, that's our little secret, isn't it, pup? And she looks over, and the dog just like barks and like wags his tail.
Well, I suppose just a bit jealous. I've been trying to learn that, but not quite there yet.
And she nods slowly and she says, it's a talent that comes and goes.
Comes more when you're drinking or less?
And she shrugs. Kind of like you can see her trying to like focus on you as like the 2 of you move around a little. Right. And then, Tarina drinks the beer that November brought her, and she turns back to Sathra and Sosorovo, and she says, well, Zaj sent you, which means I can make use of you. Listen, here's the thing. I've got money. I don't need money in exchange for this information. I'm happy to tell you, but I'm going to need you to do me a little favor first.
That depends.
You don't even have to leave the bar to do this favor. In fact, I'm glad you arrived when you did. So, yeah. I have some former friends of mine who don't agree with some of the life choices that I've made. And I had thought that I put these friends of mine behind me, that I wasn't going to have to deal with that part of my life anymore. And as she talks, you notice, I think Sosorovo, you notice she's like got her hand on the handle of her saber or whatever on her belt.
Who's she looking at?
She's looking around nervously. You can make an insight check if you want to try to get a read on her.
Not super great at, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Not bad. Got 14. She's nervous. She's covering it, but she keeps looking back at the stairs and like kind of side-eyeing the people at the other table. Like there's vague paranoia vibes coming from this lady.
All right, so former friends.
Right. Shipmates, really. We had what you might call a mutiny. Didn't go so good.
So you want former friends to be ex-friends.
And she nods and she says, there's a part of a pirate crew looking for me, and word is they're on their way here now. So what a great time to have new friends, huh? She like looks around at all of you grinning.
I'm still just like petting the dog and like talking to the halfling.
We deal with this. You tell us what we want to know. Yes?
And she nods and she says, "You make my former friends former people, and we'll talk. You can have all the information I have."
I take my little magic staff and
Yeah.
just kind of give it a little and there's kind of a and I just mage armor up. Just
Nice. So how does your
How long
mage
does mage armor last?
An hour.
An hour?
8 hours.
Oh, hot damn! And it's not concentration, or
I don't think it is.
Mage armor, you're so cool. Okay, so what does that look like? Is it like pieces of magical armor that form out of thin air, or like what's your style of spell casting when you do this?
Sort of those mage armor actually is underneath all of their clothes. So the only thing that you would notice if you could see their face under the hat, the like normally kind of grey skin kind of darkens a little bit, and there's just kind of like and it would be on their hands as well. There's just like a shade down, like a kind of dark veil goes over all of their skin underneath the clothes.
Nice, cool. So it'd be the kind of thing you would need to like be keeping a close eye on, and then maybe make like an Arcana check to recognize like what the spell was. But it's clear because there's verbal and somatic components that you've just cast something, and I think Tarina sees what you're doing, right? That you're like, I'm gonna get ready if there's gonna be a fight, and she just grins and nods like, yes, good. These guys will help me deal with my problems. And so she smiles and she looks at you, Sathra, and she says, well, it wouldn't be an evening in Baldur's Gate without a little bit of violence, huh? She gestures. Make whatever preparations you need to make. I imagine they'll be here presently. And I think we cut to the outside of the Elfsong Tavern, and yeah, we do indeed see approaching down the street. We see a group of ne'er-do-wells and mercenary types as they approach. So we'll take our short break here, and when we get back, pirate friends, I guess. So polish your doubloons and buckle your swashes. There's going to be some murder when we return. Don't go anywhere. Baldur's Gate is thrown into turmoil as the time has come for a hellish debt to be paid. The fate of an entire city hangs in the balance. Can you resist temptation and save them all, or will the seductions within Avernus prove irresistible? The Roll20 conversion of Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, is filled with over 200 new monsters, vehicles, and magic items, and comes with 28 maps complete with GM layer information and dynamic lighting for Pro or Plus users. The expansion compendium and Descent into Avernus adventure module for levels 1 to 13 is waiting for you in the Roll20 marketplace. Baldur's Gate is really bad, and you can tell this by the fact that when you go to hell, you'll all be like, man, it's so nice here.
Yeah. Hell has rules.
I mean, it depends on what level of hell.
Yeah, I suppose hell has many flavors. So let's talk about what the plan is here. So Tarina has told you her former pirate companions are on their way, probably to kill her, and if she dies, you can't get any information. So you need to make sure that her former friends are all killed instead. They're going to show up soon. You have a bit to like prep. What do you want to do? What would be the things that you would do now that you all know this is the situation you're in?
I mean, having fought in D&D fights before, I feel like narrowing their access to whatever space would be a good idea. Like, is there, like, we can, I don't know, like, lure them through a door and then, like, hit them a bunch of times?
Or up the stairs, maybe?
Or up at the top of the stairs, depending on, like, ranged weapons.
Sure, I mean, that makes sense.
I think that once November gets caught up on the scheme, she very politely tells the people at the other table that they might want to go somewhere.
Or help.
So you want to go over to the table. Basically, let's get one action from each of you, one thing that you're going to do. So November, you want to go talk to the people at the other table. You want to have a short conversation with them.
Well, yes. Yeah, and the halfling, if I can do, like, just like the other people in the room and be like, hey, guys, so...
Hello, everyone. So you're going to address the room.
Yeah, we might be having a fight.
Yeah, before we get to that, let's see what else everybody's doing. So, Sathra, what are you going to do? Do you have any spells?
Strapping my shield to my arm.
Yeah, do we get to see you like with your cloak off in like battle mode?
This is like the this is like the fucking actual reveal.
This is your magical snarl transformation sequence.
Because she has to take the cloak off to get the shield out. Because it's like would be suck to do it otherwise.
Yeah.
So she takes the cloak off, and you can see that she's wearing like sort of not really dark, but sort of darker than usual steel scale mail with like a sort of gambeson under it. And she's got a little like shoulder drape that's like black with like ragged edges, as if like it's been burned or it's been in combat, you know.
Chad has just described the exact move I imagined too. Infinity Phoenix asked, the shoulder grab, rip the cloak off move.
Yeah, of course.
And it floats in the air for a second before it falls to the ground. Yeah. And
she's got like these very what would you call it? Like practical like brown combat pants that like lead into the heavy boots that she's wearing and are like tucked into the boots. And you can see like most of her skin is like this green scale, basically like snake skin. Because once the cloak's off, like her hood's down, and her hair is like black and like the Draco Malfoy, like
just
slick back,
greased back.
And at the back it's like really pointed, as if like sort of spiked out at the back.
Cool.
And I pick that one in RPGs.
Yeah. And she's got a sword at her hip as well.
Yeah.
And there's something odd. It's like a regular longsword. But when she puts her hand on it, you can see this like writing like snake across the side of the blade that looks like it's in maybe Draconic, or I guess Abyssal would be the Night Serpent.
Yeah.
So in Abyssal, if you read Abyssal, and it says like, you know, the chosen fang of the Night Serpent Dendar, sort of like on the blade.
Does Sathra read Abyssal?
She does, yeah.
Okay.
She reads Abyssal and Draconic.
Okay.
And when she draws the sword, it's straight while she's got it on her belt, but it sort of like curves a little bit as if like tooth-like once it's in her hand.
Dang.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so you draw it, and I think anybody within range, like everyone in the room, sees you take your cloak off, and they're like, "Ooh, interesting looking snake person. Whoa, scary sword." Yeah, like it's clear they're in the presence of adventurers. Okay, cool. So you draw your sword. You ready up. So you have your shield and your sword. Is there anywhere? Where do you want to be, or what do you want to do?
I'm like positioning myself near the front of like the top of the stairs, basically.
Okay. All right.
We go down. I'll be the first one down. If they come up, I'll be the one at the.
Okay. Tarina is like cocking a crossbow. Where it came from, who knows? Okay, so November, you want to go over to the other table?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it's probably happening like kind of like she approaches before the cloak and the sword, and then while she's talking, there's a like, okay. I saw the sword. You're adventurers.
So the other people at the table that you haven't seen yet, one of them has like a scarred face, like looks from like I mean, you'd have to make a medicine check to figure out what happened to her, but she looks very badly scarred on the face. She scowls at the whole situation. She may not be able to do anything else. And then the other person that was at the table, this guy, Aloric, looks like someone who could have been like a writer or a professor or something. Like his hands are covered in ink stains, and he has like a puffy shirt, and he looks like he was wearing a wig at some point because his hair is all like smooshed down, and you can see like a little line on his forehead. He's got like wig powder like on his forehead and on his shoulders. And he's got in front of him a book that he was writing in before they all interrupted him and was like, "We're playing a game now." And so he's kind of just nervously like looking around. And you walk over to the table, and all these people are here. What do you say?
So sorry to bother you all. But there's probably about to be a bit of a, well, not a tavern brawl, but not necessarily like a riot, like in between those two things, most likely. So if you would like to participate, have at it. If you would not, then maybe you should make scarce.
And they all kind of look at each other, and right away, the woman with the tattoo and the bumbling playwright, they definitely get up and are like, fight? I don't want to have anything to do with that. Come on, Rahima. And the two of them like start to like fuck off, basically. They leave. The Scarface woman and the big half-orc, they're on the fence. Let me look at this other guy whose name is, I shit you not, Scrawldar.
From what I understand, it's against some pirates. So if you have any love or hatred of pirates, then...
Oh, Scrawldar is the punch-drunk shipwright with no eyebrows. So Scrawldar, he looks around, he's like, "We're gonna fight. I'll fight him." And he like kind of does one of these in midair, like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll point you in the right direction when it's time.
More bodies, the better.
The half-orc and the halfling kind of look at each other like, they obviously know each other, and they're like, what do you think? Should we do this thing? And you will have to make a roll if you want to convince them.
Okay. I think that she says, if it's any help deciding, I'd gladly buy, some better alcohol for the victor.
And the half-orc, the jovial-looking half-orc, leans in and he says, "Is that so? Well, see, Lala and I, we've got expensive taste. Isn't that right, Lala?" And Lala's like, "Yeah, expensive taste." And she like looks over you and squints. And
is that the halfling?
Yeah, that's the Scarface halfling over here.
Oh wait, there's a Scarface.
This is Scarface.
Okay.
This is a guy named Wall Knightley, and then this is Scrawldar Fame, Scrawldar with no eyebrows, and Scrawldar's hella in. He's ready. He'll fight anybody, anytime. But yeah, you're gonna need to bribe them,
sure,
if you want them to fight for you. So
absolutely.
How much gold are you gonna offer?
I mean, gold when a fucking ale is 2 copper. What?
Yeah, but you're asking them to like risk their lives.
I mean, they seem to be into it.
No, they're giving you the opportunity to make them into it.
I feel like November is the type of person that would just put her entire coin purse on the table.
Oh, you're just like, here's everything I have. Okay, how much gold do you have?
I have 9 gold and 96 copper.
Great, because you had to get change from. Okay, all right. So you put your whole purse on the table.
This is all I have, but if that will buy better alcohol for you.
We cut over to the woman, the halfling sitting on the bench over here with your dog, and she sees this and she says to the dog, she's like, "Oh, she's a naive one, isn't she? The city's gonna eat her up." And the dog just like nods, like, yes, yes, she doesn't know what she's doing. Okay, make a persuasion roll, because I assume you're not lying to them.
No. Do I have advantage for giving them lots of money?
No, but you're allowed to make the roll.
Well, that's silly. I get a 5.
Okay, so they look at it, and Wall kind of like sneers, and Lala looks at the bag, and she says, she's like, even if you have platinum in there, it's not enough. Come on, Wall, let's go. And she gets up and starts to walk away, and Wall looks at you like, oh, sorry, I gotta go.
Of course, I just thought it'd be better to give. Okay, bye.
And she, Scrawldar turns and he looks at you, and he says quietly, he's like, don't worry, milady. I will protect you, and your secret's safe with me. I won't tell anybody.
My secret?
He nods. He's like, and he pokes the air near you. He's like, you're an avatar of the Winter Queen, but I won't tell, milady. He reaches, he just touches his head looking for his cap, which he can't find.
Is it nearby?
No, he may never have had a hat to begin with.
I pat him on the shoulder, and I'm like, all right, well.
And he touches his shoulder, and he's like, so cold.
Oh, sorry. How about you sit, and when the fighting happens, I'll let you know. And
he nods, and he says, that'll do. And he slumps back down in the seat.
And then I go back to the dog and try and find a place where it can sit and not be fighting.
Yeah, there are other rooms. You can just open a door and be like, go in here, honey.
Okay. I'll knock first.
Which door do you go to?
Probably the one next to where the dog is.
Yeah, the door's unlocked. It just opens.
Is there anyone in there?
Yeah. So actually, this is a good segue into the next bit. So you open the door. It looks like a meeting room or a big private fest hall or whatever. So the dog runs in and runs under the table and hides.
Okay, good boy.
There's a window over here, and as you look up at the window, the camera follows through the window and out into the street, and we see 3 men entering the tavern down below. I have some text in this box for you. Let me get it. 3 motley humans saunter into the tavern. The leader is a brawny man with a cloudy right eye, a cruel sneer, and a pirate swagger. The others are an unsavory, rowdy bunch who act as if they own the place. We're looking for an old friend of ours, says the dead-eyed man as he sniffs the air. Goes by the name Tarina, so I'm told. Loves to cheat at Baldur's Bones. Bit mutinous. And the other people in the tavern kind of look at each other like, oh shit, these guys are trouble. And you can hear, because it's a fucking drafty medieval tavern, you can hear through the floorboards. You hear this blustering as these pirates.
It appears our guests have arrived.
Come into the bar.
Yeah, for the thing that I would like to be doing, I'm just taking this sofa and I'm dragging it over, and I'm making myself a little barricade over the...
Okay, you're making cover? I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put that on the map layer for you. Perfect, okay. Alright. So that's not there. Okay. Alright, so you drag the sofa over, turn it around. Scrawldar just watches you, and he's just nodding. He's like, here's one of those furniture moving elves. I heard about you. It was a friend of mine worked at a warehouse once. 2 platinum? You gotta be kidding me. So he's just, just wondering where his eyebrows went as you create your wall of sofa to hide behind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. So yeah, you'll have cover. You'll be basically hidden from anyone who comes around the corner. Downstairs, you hear more talking. If anybody would like to listen carefully, you can make a perception check.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm just whispering to the halfling next to me that like if they want to, they can like also go hide with the dog. I don't.
Yeah. So she's like, "Hey, I'll look after the pooch for you." And she goes in the other room and she's like, "Come here, boy," and she climbs under the table with him.
Oh, good.
Okay. And then do you want to close that door?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll just draw a little. There you go. Let me know if you want to open it again. Okay. So Sorovo, you can hear downstairs. You're talking. This guy, he's a blackguard, right? He likes being loud, and he comes in, and he says, "Barkeep," and Alan's just like, "Ugh. A tall glass of ale to anyone with information on Tarina's location." And a bunch of people look at each other like, cool, this is going to be an easy glass of ale. A couple of people use this opportunity to get out of the bar, right? Like a table excuses themselves. And you hear him be like, where are you going? Just trying to liven the place up. And so there's like the couple of people spread out. And it's only a matter of time before somebody says, like, "Oh, I know where she is." And then you hear some like more quiet conversation.
This may be relevant, Adam.
Yeah.
I am waiting for whoever comes into this square of the stairs first, and I'm going to poison spray the living shit out of them.
Oh my god. Can you imagine, like, you're just walking up the stairs at a tavern and suddenly, blah, poison sprayed in your face? It's just like Home Alone. If Kevin McAllister were a snake man. Okay,
if I was playing a rope, there'd be ball bearings, there'd be butter on those steps.
So somebody downstairs is like, she just came in a little while ago. She's upstairs with those adventurers. And you hear, "What's that? Adventurers, huh? So, sounds like she's made some friends, boys." And they grumble, and she's like, "Well, she'll betray him soon enough. If she lives the night. Come on, boys." And you hear the unmistakable sound of weapons being drawn, and then heavy boots thump, thump, thump on the stairs. So I imagine if you stand right where you are now, he'll be able to see you from the bottom of the stairs.
Oh, okay.
But if you stand one step over there, this little wall will be high enough that you'll get him as soon as he comes up.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you wait. Do we see you like? Do you have like poison glands that swell in your throat?
Like, she's got like sort of a very angular face. It's like very viper-like. Mm-hmm. And you can see like there's a little like on her neck, like sort of puffing up.
This fucking guy. All right, so what we'll do is before we roll initiative, we will have you this guy
that's
here.
Confusing. They look just like Tarina.
He's not under here. I'll put a little like there. That's your bandit. So this guy's not actually here. He's underneath. I just need to grab him.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'll let you do your poison spray, and then we'll roll initiative after you blast this guy in the face with poison. So he's coming upstairs. We hear this like thump, thump, thump. He's got his weapon in his hand. What has he got? He's got a scimitar. Of course he does. So he's coming up the stairs. You hear thump, 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 and he even calls ahead. He's like, "Tarina. Tarina," and he comes up and he turns and he's like, "Where are you hiding, girl? Wait, who are?" Just gets hosed in the face.
So it's a DC 14 con save.
Okay, all right.
For 8 poison damage if he fails.
Okay, and if he succeeds, it's
nothing.
It's a cantrip, right? So he can dodge. Okay, I'm gonna give him disadvantage because I think you know it's a surprise. So let's see. Con save with disadvantage. He gets a 4.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you spray him in the face, and he grabs his with his other hand. He grabs his face, screaming, and he's like, "Ah, Bashama, no!" And he like stumbles backwards into the wall.
Just like get him in the eyes.
His one good eye. You spray him with poison, and he starts like gagging. There's no other effects for poison spray right now, right?
No, it's just damage.
Okay. Yeah. So that happens. You get a spray in the face. There's smoke coming off of his face, and now we roll initiative. So let me do it. There you go. I don't know who Philaster is, but I'm getting them off there. Jesus Christ, Blue Jay.
I didn't see a Philaster on it.
No, your character name.
God, I'm sorry.
You take up literally 3 lines on the initiative tracker.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Why is it just showing my name and not Elf's or
That's so
Dave's?
funny. Probably because the tokens, when I threw them together, I didn't set name, bar, aura, view. So I'll set all that now.
I mean, I could just say November.
No, it's fine. It's totally fine. I will work around it. Okay, and then Sosorovo, which, Dave, can I just say, every time I say your character's name, it fills me with delight. It's a great name to say out loud. Sosorovo. Okay, all right. So Scrawldar, not a good mouthfeel on that one. So Scrawldar the commoner. Good. There's Scrawldar. And then Tarina. Oh, I gotta put my my initiative macro on this account when we get started next session. Remind me, somebody, chat. That goes for you too. Okay, and then there's Tarina. Let me add these to the order. Okay, so Tarina got a 19, and then Scrawldar got a 17. Oh, they're so fast. Okay, and then our bad guys, we got 1 eye. Maybe no eyes now, I guess. Ah, my good eye. You got a 7. Okay, so Deadeye got a 7, and then Deadeye's Bandit Friends. And while I'm doing this, for folks who have questions, this is still a beta version of the adventure. The proper finished version, the retail release comes out tomorrow, so I'm working on a 95% complete version. So there are a few little bits and pieces.
Yeah, the stat blocks to do that immediately.
Normally I'd have that in there. And I can click the little D20 on initiative to send it to the tracker, but I'm working around it right now. Okay, so anyway, these guys got an 18, so that's my order. All right, so Sathra, oh, that's perfect. You're first.
Lightning quick, snake reflexes.
That's right.
So I poison spray him in the face, and then I raise my blade as he's reeling and doing the oh god thing. I raise my blade and point it at him, and I say in Abyssal, "You first." And then I curse him with my bonus action for the Hexblade's curse.
All right. So what do we want to use? What icon do we want to use for the curse?
I have 2 curses. I have Hex and Hexblade's curse. So
okay, this is a good one, I think. I usually use that for blinded, but
that's fine. That'll work.
Yeah, we'll pick some good ones. How about for now, we just Hexblade Curse. We'll use. I don't have any cool looking knives or anything. Let's use. That's poison. Let's use that one. That looks good.
So there's sort of the ghostly shadow of a serpent through the sword that leaps into him, and there's the Hexblade's Curse.
He momentarily revisits his worst nightmare. He's reminded that it exists.
So what this allows me to do is when I damage him, I get bonus equal to my proficiency to damage.
Yeah.
So 2.
Okay.
But I crit on 19s or 20s, and if he dies, I get health back.
Hot.
That's kind of how it works.
So it's your bonus action. You curse him.
It is my bonus action to curse him.
Dendars.
And then as my main action, I will use the cantrip Green Flame Blade to attack him. And Green Flame Blade, and for those of you who don't know what Green Flame Blade is, it's great. It's great. Here it is. I've got to post it in the chat. Why is it not posting in the chat?
There it is.
There you go. So it's a regular attack action where all regular attack action stuff happens.
Yeah.
Except that if I succeed, it splashes to another target within 5 feet
damn.
for my charisma modifier.
Woo! Okay.
So here we go. I'm gonna roll hexed longsword swing. 9.
All right. So he's fast enough to get his scimitar up in the way. It's a perfect strike, but this guy's a seasoned combatant. So you slash out at him, and your weapon bounces off of his blade. And he snarls, and he like wipes the poison off his face, and he looks at you, and his face is all like burned, it's like smoke coming off of it. And he scowls, and he says, "Your friends can't save you, Tarina." And then he's gonna attack you, but it's not his turn yet. Tarina, unless you have anything else that you want to do. So.
Nope, that's it. Action, bonus action, and I'm staying here.
All right. So Tarina, in response, shoots him with her crossbow. Yeah. Okay. So she fires her crossbow, and she gets a 6. He ducks. Thunk, crossbow bolt hits the wall next to him, and he scowls. Tarina begins reloading the crossbow. So Sorovo, it is your turn.
Surprise! There's a gnome behind the sofa. I'm going to zap him with the spell.
Okay.
I cast Chili Boys. This is a 13 hit.
On a chill touch, a 13 is insufficient to strike this guy.
Oh shit.
I'm doing it from hiding, so I should...
Oh, you have advantage. That's right. Yeah.
Well, again.
Oh.
Cool.
Well,
Great.
the 10 is not better.
Very good, thank you. Well, that's how this campaign is going to be.
I feel
go.
that. I feel that.
All right. So the other 2 pirates are like, Deadeye, we gotta get up there. We can't, and like trying to stab you through the railing, and they can't get at you.
Love it.
Oh my god. Thank you, chat. This is your casting couch, Dave. Very nice.
Cool.
Primo. Okay, so they can't get into the room as long as their captain is here. They're like a bunch of skeletons and zombies with no orders. Skruldar, he's super drunk, so I'm gonna make a saving throw for him. Let's see. Oh, he gets a 17. All right, so he does get a turn. So he gets up, and
Skruldar, come be my meat shield, Skruldar.
Yeah, and so Skruldar's like, you just get away from her, you ruffian! And staggers forward, picking up off the table a leg of turkey that has been sitting around on the table for
Most
so long.
epic
It was
common or death.
It was gamey to begin with. It's a melee weapon now. So he yanks this like turkey leg off the table, or he's like, "You get away from her, you hooligan!" He's got a movement rate of 30.
I don't think he can even get over there.
He stumbles over. Actually, he can get here
and do nothing.
And no, it's 30 feet from here.
Okay.
Where is he? Skruldar.
Right. Diagonal to me. Yeah, there.
So he stumbles up and he's like, "Come here, you!" And he takes a swing. And let's see what happens.
I want him to fight better than the rest of us. Please.
Skruldar. All right, here we go. Skruldar gets a 21.
Oh yes,
and deals 1 bludgeoning damage. So Deadeye, we just see him and he's like looking at you, and then this chicken like just bonk from outside the thing, like and he turns to Skruldar, and Skruldar's like, "That's right, you got some fight in me still." So Deadeye, Deadeye attacks Skruldar with his scimitar.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
You were the best.
He gets a 15. And Skruldar takes 7 damage and goes down.
Yeah. I gave him every opportunity to not fight. So.
Whatever, man. I don't care. He was a great meat shield for me.
So Skruldar grabs his chest and dramatically throws himself backwards. He hits this door, which bursts open, and Skruldar staggers back into the room and dies on the floor. I mean, maybe he's dead, maybe not.
I think there's a moment where November is just like, sorry.
So Skraldar just, staggers into that room and dies. Deadeye has another attack, so he turns and he takes a swing at you,
Level 1.
Sathra.
Okay.
He gets a 14.
Not enough.
Haha, too fast.
Parried.
So he swings out at Skraldar, misses, takes a swing at you.
The sword seemingly moves of its own volition in that, like, he hardly even tries to block, but the sword, like, whips. There's, like, a bend to it almost.
Yeah. So there's that sound of a sword driven by, like, a beefy, muscly arm smashing against another piece of steel. So the whole room it rings, and and Skraldar lies dead over here. You have escaped that fate, and Deadeye reaches for his belt and draws a dagger. Ready for the next turn. November, it is your turn.
All right, so November is gonna creep over to this railing and like peer over.
Yeah, you see two guys pushing. Next turn, they're gonna both be able to like push past there.
Okay, well, first I'm gonna try and put a pause on that. I think that she probably says something to get their attention, be like, hi, up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so one of them like looks up.
And then the one that looks up, she casts Frostbite on.
Hey, hello. Blah! Okay.
So the text for Frostbite, since I haven't used it before, you cause a numbing frost to form on one creature you can see within range.
Okay.
The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 1d6 cold damage and has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Nice. Okay, well, he got a 6 on his Constitution save.
So he takes 5 cold damage and will have disadvantage on the next attack he makes.
So he looks up, and like, what's going on? And then, like, we hear that sound, that crackling sound.